Hi, friends, brothers, my sisters. This is Mahavir here again from a Proven Enlightenment Oneness Center, from a Praedictio, from a Nostradamus true, and from a Shiva Enlightenment, Krishna Enlightenment, Jesus Enlightenment. It's my pleasure to come today in front of you all. So, today we are going to discuss that what's the reason that we all had reached in this particular state, and how thousands of predictions, warnings, which had been released to different politicians, spiritual leaders, again and again on the Twitter board, on their emails, and on their calls, on the face-to-face meetings. We were the one who were like a clairvoyance, who were asking the people again and again that we had proven that our predictions, our warnings, we are warning you that please try to understand the upcoming situation. But now we had already reached the situation, so we all need to accept that this is what the law of nature is about. That what we see, what we do, and that's what we are getting right now. So we'll try to understand from the spirituality point of view, from the God's point of view, from the law of nature points of view. And let me introduce to my Praedictio, which I'm running. Which I'm running since 4 to 5 years, and it's like I had started seeing the grace from the childhood somewhere, from a young scientist day, and today in the 2007 it was like a state of enlightenment, but we can't say it's a proven enlightenment. But now, due to the collections and the number of articles we have gathered, we need to accept that somewhere we are in a state of a proven enlightenment. So that's what the proven enlightenment is about. It's my pleasure today to introduce to my past activities and the dates and the comments and the posts and the articles and the Twitters which I had shared in different medias. That's the same thing I'm going to take you through from my eyes. So this is the home of the page name as Praedictio. We all can see the Praedictio. So if you type this Praedictio, or if you click on this particular link in the Facebook browser, we can see the Praedictio basically. Now let me drive you through this Praedictio page, and which is backed up by so many emails, calls, Twitter boards. So if you go through the Twitter handle corporate Mahi, you can read many of the hashtags. You can read the dates, because whenever you compare any predictions, it's very important to note down the dates and the comments inside that particular incidents. And you also needs to check that when this incident, and when sometimes we know this happened, but we don't know when this incident happened. For example, the coronavirus was introduced in like December or January somewhere. Everyone got to know that this kind of virus exists in China. So but our predictions was like in the month of November somewhere. So let me drive you through the various posts of mine. We can see the earthquakes, the Delhi fire, and some conversations also, kind of predictions I had mentioned here. Uh, so this is the prediction regarding the coronavirus. It's not just a one prediction. It's a series of predictions about the upcoming law of nature. and it's even a clear warning to the different politicians. So I'll drive you through the series of the predictions which I'm making again and again for the coronavirus, basically. So I'd written that China can pact with India. Pact may not be with military or borders. It's not confirmed. Its intrusions in Bangalore city and clear vision was shown but was unable to decode the full message. These are not mere dreams. In fact, it's a superconscious which I'm able to reach during wake up after deep sleep and even closing eyes or penetration techniques. So, what exactly I saw during the wake up meditating time? What's exactly this wake up meditating time is about every person have some sorts of lucid dreamings. Like that lucid dreamings can be up to your house members itself. Someone have the lucid dreams till the level of law of nature, till the level of just a nature predictions, till the level of space. It has no limit. So that's what the lucid dream is about. We will come to this chapter next by next and all that. So I saw this. I saw this wake up vision, and in fact, a superconscious state where I was able to. I will not like to get into the deep. What I've seen, that's only I'm sharing actually, like, because I had put at some logic, and that's the reason that I was unable to use the word as a virus, because I was asking this question to myself. How can the virus in the post graph and what's it's happening, like, how is it possible, like. So it started showing me the lab. The first prediction, actually, the first what I saw was the zombies, and that was somewhere in the August or September or October. I saw the zombies. That world is getting transferred into zombies, and I thought that this must be the zombie game, or this must be like a bad dream or something like. So I was unable to understand it, like, initially. Then the series started within for my wake up visions. When we say lucid dream, it's like we are commanding in the night that I want to see something. Please help me, God. So there is a circle of creation. Being a young scientist, also I started seeing innovations first, and the derivations and the scientific mindsets I was having. From that, it took me till a level of a spark, which is now turning into clairvoyances, which this things does not exist basically. So it's a super consciousness which I'm able to reach during wake up, as we discussed. Now, what I saw was the lab of the China. Then it showed me that how it's going to enter to India. As I belong to India, I'm aware about the India. If I want to study about if I want to predict about US, it happens naturally. It's not like it will come a flying way from nowhere. I need to have the knowledge about it. It's the same like a scientist needs to have the base. I have the base for Indian politics. I have the geographical base. I know I'm aware of every geography of India. And in the same way, the scientist will study physics and he will get the innovations for the physics. It's the same story for me. Uh, so first I saw that from a Chinese lab. I saw the Chinese lab. I am not saying that it was prepared in China. I'm not confirmed, but I definitely saw the lab actually. And I also saw the postcard that entered into India. Then I saw the few peoples who then I saw the few peoples who landed to Bangalore, and somewhere I also got a confirmation that first case was registered in Karnataka, which is like 200, 300 kilometers far from Bangalore. And then further, these people reached to the state of Kerala. So this was the whole prediction which I saw, but we are we don't being more getting more scientific. rather than trusting on law of nature and circle of creation, because these two are parallel things. So instead of either going parallelly or instead of trusting on science, I put at my logical mind, and today I was unable to write the virus, but it's a series of predictions. So that's also a kind of a confirmation. We can see the date. The most important part here is about the date. We can see this. This is Praedictio, and this is what the November 23, 2019. It's about like. So this was my prediction for coronavirus. And if I take you further, it's a series of prediction, as I'm saying. There are predictions for cyclone storms. This cyclone storm is from one of my friend in Vietnam. I don't know the much geographical situations of Vietnam that I can tell the place and all actually. But one of my friend requested that please share some predictions. Please make the predictions on the same page for the Vietnam also. Like, so I was only able to see that the president of the Vietnam was getting like we know what is it like. So regarding the president of Vietnam, I saw it like I need to accept one more thing, that we get some more bad dreams. It's not a bad dreams, but it's more brutal things. In this world, we come across more rather than seeing the good things. I need to request for the good things. I also need to give the permission for the brutal and the bad things, whatever it's going to happen, and a kind of a fear which I need to save as a throne on my throne. It's just like keeping the throne in my heart, and it's the same like the father who's asking for a confession. If someone is doing a confession in front of the father, and the father needs to store here, etc. If he says that, I think it's not the responsible spirituality. So it's the same story for me. Like, now I'll take you to the lockdown prediction. I'll take you to the lockdown prediction. So we understand the intensity of the prediction. That I think this was predicted almost a year ago. We are coming across the series of predictions basically here. It's so many politicians, so many. It's also regarding so many spirituality. I'm taking you to the right prediction actually. It might take a little time. Yep. So we are here for the main lockdown predictions. I've written in Hindi. I'll try if I can translate it here. There's not much a translation option, so that it's written in Hindi actually. So I'm writing here. कलयुग में युद्ध के नियम. So एक सच्चा और सामर्थ और सुरेश्वर योद्धा किसी भी युग में जब युद्ध करता है. So it's about the oneness center, or it's about the oneness enlightenment, who's trying and attempting to represent on behalf of the director of gods, or for some it's like a different gods, for some it's like a one god or a universal god, and some had seen the god but they want to see the oneness, that a one name basically, like. So it's saying like सच्चा सामर्थ और सुरेश्वर योद्धा किसी भी युग में जब युद्ध करता है तब एनलाइटनमेंट ट्रैवल्स फ्रॉम डार्कनेस टू लाइट्स, नॉट लाइट टू डार्कनेस। वो राजा को चेतावनी नहीं देता बल्कि उसको अंधकार से प्रकाश की ओर दिखाता है, और उसको प्रकाश की ऊंचाई दिखाता है जो राजा को भी चलाने में सक्षम है। So it will show the heights to the king of the country, kings of the countries. So after this my prediction, we can see the date here first of all, on what date I had made this prediction actually. So we can see this is in March 2019. This was a time when the cloud jokes were going on actually, and I'd seen that some of the dignitaries was like surrounded because of the cloud jokes, and also this is the same time. So it started with this, like it's exactly in the series all these incidents happen, and today we are in the lockdown, which I've mentioned downstairs. So we can see this Prakash ki Uchai, as I told you, the cloud joke and the aeroplane jokes and all was shared by some of a dignitary of India. In the next line I'm writing, uske बावजूद भी अगर राजा द्यूत नहीं बेचता. So it's like king needs to send the correspondence to the oneness center, or king needs to send. Unfortunately, I'd send this all scripts and all predictions to many of our big politicians, email, and spiritual leaders on a call, on a face-to-face meetings, as we discussed before. So उसके बावजूद भी अगर राजा दूत नहीं भेजता या तो ना समर दूत को भेजा जाता है तो विरोधी पक्ष का आकलन नहीं निकल सकता. युद्ध शुरू होने के बाद सच्चा योद्धा राजा को नहीं मारता बल्कि पहले उनके अंगरक्षक को और हर उस एक को जो राजा के विवश में आकर युद्ध कर रहा है उसको सामर्थ्य दिखाता है. In actual, the same state happened that our defense minister, our foreign minister, Sushma Swaraj, our defense minister, Manohar Parrikar, our finance minister, Arun Jaitley, our six-term union minister, what's his name, from a Bangalore South seat. He was from a Bangalore South seat. His name starts from A, I guess. I'm completely lost regarding our union minister name. So I have 20 to 25. If you go to the Lok Sabha websites, you all will be able to see the number of, the incidents happens on paper and everything. So please have a look at it. From 2014 till 2020, how many incidents happened. This had never happened in the history of India, actually. And in the last 1 year only, these four great peoples are no more, unfortunately. So अगर उसके बावजूद भी राजा के विवश में आया एक भी सिपाही का मनोबल बरकरार है तब उस हरेक सैनिक को भी दंडित करना जरूरी है. So we are if we are worshipping the king with a blindness, if we keep the blind trust on the king also, then we are not under the umbrella of a oneness or a god. We are under the umbrella of the king. We don't know that king is in the righteous path, or he's destructing the chair which he is representing. We don't know. At a spiritual level or at a law of nature level, law of nature is not going to care about the law of justice, which is humanly created. Law of nature is independent of its own decision, and it takes the decision silently. इसको कहता है कि ऊपर वाले की लाठी में आवाज नहीं होता. So that's what we are facing actually. So राजा का उस एक योद्धा के कर्म, और अगर उसके बावजूद भी राजा के विवश में आया एक भी सिपाही का मनोबल बरकरार है तब उस हर एक सैनिक को भी दंडित करना जरूरी है ताकि उसके फैलाए हुए डिफ्यूजन से छुटकारा मिल सके. अगर कोई भी सिपाही आत्मसमर्पण करता है और अपना राजा से धर्म के पक्ष में और परम आत्मा के पक्ष की ध्वजा तले युद्ध करने की समझ रखे तो उसे बचाया जा सकता है। राजा का उस एक योद्धा के कर्म और तपस्वी की आहुतियों से जब अहंकार टूट जाता है, वी नो दैट इन अ कोरोना वायरस सिचुएशन, व्हाट्स द situation of all the kings across the globe right now. They can't stand actually, and it's clearly written actually. राजा के पास दो विकल्प होते हैं, आत्मसमर्पण या तो शान से पूरी सेना का बंदी होना स्वीकारना। Either the kings needs to completely surrender to the oneness, or either he needs to accept to the whole army. We the blind followers and the blind faith who keeps the blind faith on the king of the country are like an army for the king, will be surrounded by the law of nature, be surrounded by the god in this kind of cases, because we were like a blind followers for the black therapies which was ongoing, which includes bigotries, which includes the falsehoodness, which includes targeting the individuals. So many things happens in different countries and all. We all were able to see that something was not going right actually. Like, so जब द्वापर में कृष्णा का सुदर्शन उस हरेक शिशुपाल के ऊपर चलता था, तब सिर्फ गला कटता था. So Shishupal is one of a character in Mahabharata. It's an epic and a real story written by Lord Ganesha in the Indian history. And Sudarshan is the most powerful weapon after the Lord Shiva's Trishul weapon, so which is capable to cut any darkness which keeps on spreading and all that. So currently we all might be thinking that God had given a darkness to us, but it's actually not a darkness. It's the underground things which is ongoing right now. It might give us the secure future, and it might also point us to the adaptation where we can see the genetical level changes, where instead of using a mobile communications, we might reach into the mind communications and all after 1,000 years. But this genetical changes comes if we are even wearing this, we can see the skeleton, the structure and the skeleton changes in our body, because this happens genetically. If we are wearing something, if even a pressure comes on the brain, and this keeps happening from generation to generation, then we see the genetical changes. Because there is a one lag which goes from one generation to another generation in form of encoded. And so that message is carried from one generation to other generation. That what kind of adaptation we had started, and so it automatically the structure starts molding according to the according to the current state of living life and all. जब युद्ध शुरू ही हो गया तो उसको रोकने की चेष्टा से युद्ध नहीं किया जाता. कलयुग में सुदर्शन को यही प्रार्थना कर सकते हैं कि राजा अपने घुटनों के बल गिर जाए या तो कट जाए ताकि मजबूरी में आत्मसमर्पण कर सके. This is not a Dwapar Yuga. We are not a Krishna. We don't want to become a Krishna again. He was a great warrior. Oneness is again a great warrior. I am not a oneness. I'm nothing. Like, I can only request that circle of creation and that one God or the director of God or the assembly of God, to whom I call as a oneness. So we are not asking that the neck should be cutted, but we are definitely the oneness is asking that if any such kings is there who's spreading the diffusions. So कलयुग में सुदर्शन को यही प्रार्थना कर सकते हैं कि राजा अपने घुटनों के बल गिर जाए या तो कट जाए ताकि मजबूरी में आत्मसमर्पण कर सके। जब युद्ध शुरू ही हो गया तो उसको रोकने की चेष्टा से युद्ध नहीं किया जाता, बल्कि आत्मसमर्पण की चेष्टा से युद्ध जीता जाता है। So it's the responsibility of the king to completely surrender to the God, to save his army, to save his supporters, followers. So that's can only be the advice, but I don't think that if this steps was taken after listening at the right time, it might had came into effect. But I think it's too late for a king to surrender. After Narayan Astra, मैं आतुर हूँ कि मेरा सुदर्शन चक्र उस हरेक भारतीय राजा तुल्य शिशुपाल को काटे. We had seen that some of the big politicians won, and in his home state there was like 20 to 22 girls on the next day was foiled and was no more actually. So this is not like a news or a media. This is just a perception that this kind of things is also happening, you know. And there were like I was able to see from my eyes. I was able to understand these perceptions, but I don't know how much this perception keeps the values to change the inner selves, inner perceptions about other dignitaries and all. भारत या किसी भी देश में इस कलयुग के शिशुपाल भारत के राजा तुल्य के लिए आंसू नहीं बहने चाहिए, बल्कि ढोल नगाड़ों के साथ उस नए सवेरे का स्वागत करना चाहिए. It's the whole story of the last 3 months is written in this actually. In India, and I think in some other countries also followed the India with the bells and with the lamps and all like so. That this is also written fortunately. ये मेरी ललकार है हर एक भारतीय से पहुंचनी चाहिए ताकि धर्म की अधर्म पे विजय का और प्रकाश का अंधकार के ऊपर विजय का स्वागत हो सके. हम सब वननेस से अवश्य सक्षम है और आतुर भी है इस कलयुग के शिशुपाल को अपनी माँ के द्वारा दिए हुए आशीर्वाद को उनके माँ के जीवन समक्ष ही काटा जा सके. So his mother needs to leave. His mother needs to leave before the king's is taken care by the oneness basically. So that's what's it's written here, and I think we are in the lockdown state, and the lockdown state with the law of nature and with the reason it's completely mentioned here. So this is what the strength of the oneness is about, and this is like hashtagged from a corporate Mahi Twitter handle in many of our politicians' page and all. And now people also might be worried that what the Lord is trying to do. So for that, there are other fears also, which whose prediction is written. One more prediction which had came true was Iran's and Pakistan internal tectonic plate movements and all, and even in the Gujarat states predicted the earthquakes again and again. Even not only that, when the Rajkot's earthquakes aftershocks came, so I tweeted to the collector of Rajkot collector, and that tweet is still there actually, like, and the same, like, as you can see, this is like a tweet or one more prediction with pre-LX rays that came through. This is on Gen 23, and the same thing happened on like you can see the dates. The same thing started happening in Saurashtra region. We can see the Saurashtra region, like it started in 18 and 19, 18, 19, 18, 19. So we can see this, like this is on like Gen 23, but this Twitter, you see the Twitter is on Gen 19. First, it was a tweet. I don't know the time actually, but it's 19 and 20. This was there, and I always post in the morning actually, and it happened somewhere around 10:41 p.m. You can see this 4-5 in Saurashtra region. And there's two more predictions which I'd like to talk about. It's a way advanced prediction of year 2702. It's Iran's crust. We are seeing that Egypt and eastern side of Africa there is a major tectonic movements that the Africa is getting divided into two different regions, like near the Egypt and near the Kenya, and one more cut which is going to follow is through the Iran, which the cut will be like this basically. So by the 2702, we can see that there will be a North Iran and there will be a South Iran. So just in a span of a 500 and just in the span of like 482 years, we are going to see such a major tectonic plate movements. And this is just a prediction, but we are seeing the results after this particular date of March 25. We can see this from the March 25. We had seen so many earthquakes in the region of Delhi, and this epicenter was in Pakistan, it was in Iran, it was in Gujarat. So this all comes in like a 500 to 1,000 kilometers radius in the diameter. So this is 500,000 kilometer diameter in the radius from Gujarat till Delhi to Pakistan to Iran, which is very close, and a little of the Oman also, which is just like Gujarat port is facing the Oman port exactly in front, and if we go like this is the UAE, and also this whole region needs to be Middle East Asia, all needs to be Middle Asia, Central Middle Asia needs to be taken care actually. Now, where we are going to land actually, what's going to be the outcome because we need to accept the bitter truth. There is no vaccination for the common cold, there is no vaccination for the pneumonia, there is no vaccination for the cough and the similar. I think there are 20 different viruses which creates the cough or the pneumonia or the common flu or the different types of flu and all. So I think it's not that easy to completely control. We also might to learn for adaptation and all. So what's the adaptation and what's my prediction, which I'd already made, is showing actually. So let me take you to that prediction also. So I'm saying there's continuous prediction. On March 2017, war broke down between heavens and abstract earthly peoples. So many predictions we can see here, done by keeping God in mind instead of so many warnings again and again. And it's also, I have a series of warnings. Before this, let me drive you through this. So it's about the human race. When the universe was born, there was none other than 100% ball of internal energy. So I'll directly drive you to the era of Buddha will lead to high upcoming intelligent brain creations. As we move with human race will be led by strong hooded satanic energy. Satanic energy is about the routine creation. Satanic energy is about the kind of contraceptual or kind of hybrid things which is going to come, which will result into humanoids with robotic nature and a mixture people will become robotic nature with schedule driven force and an agile scrum and so many things we see in IT actually. To enforce under management and work pressure, but the era will come after 3000 AD where human with high brain intelligence will shift to fourth medium where one mind will be able to talk with the other minds. So this is the whole big picture, the whole plan of the law of nature, which is scientific, which is somewhere surrounding within the boundaries of the proven enlightenment. Again and again, so many predictions. I'll ask you to go through the various hashtags and all. So thanks a lot for the same, and it's pleasure to have you all here. And we will see you again with the next series of predictions from the Praedictio, from the Oneness Center, and from the Proven Enlightenment. See you again. Thanks a lot. Om Namah Shivaya, Hare Krishna. Om Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. We pray to the G Suite. Thank you. Hare Krishna.